horror, disaster, tragedy. These were some of the words used to describe what happened at Sandy Hook Elementary in Newtown, Connecticut. No one word will be able to capture what happened that day and to describe the devastation that hit Newtown when 20 children and 6 adults were killed in a school shooting. In this special edition of Context, our own Sheldon Neal reports from the ground in Connecticut on what the community lost and how faith interacts in the recovery.
Callers indicating she thinks there's someone shooting in the building.
State police are responding to a report of a school shooting in Newtown, Connecticut.
We all try to understand why anyone would want to hurt innocent children.
You could read about it in newspapers, see it in headlines across news channels. Tragedy in Newtown. Adam Lanza, 20 years old, entered through the doors of Sandy Hook Elementary and opened fired. Parents left devastated. For many, the last memory they had of their child was putting them on the bus to school that same morning. On the wake of a tragedy like this, how do you recover? Who do you turn to for support when feeling you've lost what matters most? Meet Pastor Clive Calver. He is the senior pastor of Walnut Hill Community Church. He lives in Newtown. Although he can never bring back the loved ones so many families lost in the tragedy, he hopes he can help bring healing, at the very least, to those hurting.
Lots and lots of people are trying to help, and I think it's fantastic, the outpouring of love and concern and compassion around the world. But sometimes, we do throw our brains away. 60,000 teddy bears have arrived. I'm not quite sure what to do with them. But what I do know people need is that this tragedy is not going to go away. And when the TV trucks have gone, when the newspaper headlines have finished, people are going to be left with their memories and a hole in their lives. And whether it's first responders who saw stuff they should never have had to see, or whether it's families who've been torn apart, the needs here are long-term. And whether it's providing counseling, help, support for people to rebuild lives, they're going to need some strength and encouragement. So yes, we're starting a fund and we'll sit on it. We will stick it into Danbury Savings Bank and leave it there. We will leave it there till the first outpouring of grief and desire to help has gone. And then we'll start to support.
This strategy of support comes as nothing new to Pastor Calver. It was the same strategy rolled out when tragedy hit New Orleans with Hurricane Katrina.
We didn't do anything till after a year had passed. Then we released the money and the support and a whole team of 30 contractors and builders who would go there. We want to do the same here, providing friendship and support for families who've lost everything, providing the opportunity to rebuild for first responders, offering specific professional counseling help for people at every level of this disaster. And probably the biggest thing of all, showing people the care, the compassion, the love, and the community that comes from a local church.
Part of that support from the local church to start will come by way of counseling sessions.
We're meeting at all different levels with groups of 2, 3. We're having times of prayer. We're meeting with the entire congregation during worship, meeting with the leadership team. But our desire is to get a pulse on the community as well. I've spent quite some time moving around the community, and we want to connect in viable ways where the need is great.
What are potential roadblocks you could encounter in this counseling session?
There are many roadblocks. First of all, we may look for something more immediate to answer our deep questions and want solutions that come more quickly, especially in today's society where you can find an app for anything. But the journey of life isn't as easy as downloading an app on your phone. It involves behavior, it involves beliefs, it involves practice and change and transformation. And that takes time. We can come broken, we can come confused, we can come with our anger and our deep questions that even don't have easy answers, or maybe no answer. But we come as we are. We accept one another where we are, and then we explore together where the healing will be.
Finding that place of healing for those on the wake of Sandy Hook comes in different ways. For some, it may be through a counseling session, a local church service, or maybe in something as simple as a hug.
That is a safe place away from the media. It's just a safe place that people can come and mourn and grieve and get comfort and have a hug and be loved on.
There are a lot of people grieving, she says. The memorial site stands as a point of contact where many people can come and find comfort. Although no one she knew died in the tragedy, that has not left her untouched by what's happened.
You know, how do you put that in a nutshell? You know, I cry every day. I weep with some of them that are weeping, but I have a lot of people praying for me for strength and for wisdom, and you know, I need to be strong for those that need comfort and need someone to be there for them.
I believe that Newtown is going to live again. But if you're going to, you've got to start with asking, why would God allow this? And the answer is he didn't. He set a world in motion and he gave that world freedom. And he didn't put the enemy of our souls on a leash. He gave us freedom to choose to live in his world, his way, and he gave us a world to operate in. God didn't do Newtown. People did Newtown. The question isn't, why did God allow Newtown? The question is, where is God when Newtown happens? And the amazing answer is that God didn't give us a get-out-of-jail-free card to escape suffering, but he promised he'd be with us in the suffering. And what I've seen with so many people is that they've started to discover that God is there and he's there for them.
Coming up, Craig Scott. He survived the Columbine shooting but lost his sister Rachel in it. He explains a values shift that is facing America in light of a culture of gun violence.